Well, happy Monday, everybody. My name is Mo, and I'm one of your SoulQuest pastors here at Azusa Pacific University, and it's my honor to be sharing this week's Thought of the Week with you, and here it is, On the Way. When I was a little kid, we used to go across country pretty much every year because we had and still do have family over on the other side of the country, and so me and my brother just wanted to always get there. It was a few days. We were in a car together. You know how that can get if you've got siblings. But my parents were always pointing things out on the way in other states, and we stopped at some really cool places. And me and my brother, we kind of liked it, but really didn't appreciate it for what it really was. And now, years later, I'm so glad that my parents really had us do that and learn some of that stuff, because it was important to see those things, because that stuff was as important sometimes as just getting there. I got to see things that other kids probably didn't get to see a lot of the times, and that was pretty neat. Well, I am reminded of what I go through every year as a coach with my young athletes and swimmers. Swimming is an endurance sport, and sometimes you just want to get to the end of the year. You want to get to that last swim meet and just want to be done. And I have to help these young people understand that it's not always the end that matters, but it's everything that happens on the way. You make relationships with other people, other swimmers. You get to see other teams. There's other swim meets. You get to help people understand what you do. It's really everything that goes into the season that makes the ending so wonderful. And so it's really difficult to help people understand that. But one of the things that I always try to do is this: help people not forget the journey for the destination. There's a comedian, and his name is Jerry Stiller, and you probably know him from Seinfeld or King of Queens or any number of things that he's been in over the years, and he's recently passed away. And he said this: never go for the punchline. There might be something funnier along the way. And I'm reminded of, that's kind of how we go through life, isn't it? We're always trying to get to the end. He's saying, no, don't try to get to the end. There might be something even better in the middle. And that works whether you're in comedy or it works when you're in life. I'm reminded also of a story in the book of John, and I want to read it to you today. And it comes from John chapter 5, verses 1 and following. And this is what it says. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is in Jerusalem by the sheep gate a pool, in Aramaic called Bethesda, which has 5 roofed colonnades. In these lay a multitude of invalids, blind, lamed, paralyzed. One man had been there, an invalid, for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had already been there a long time, he said to him, "Do you want to be healed?" The sick man answered him, "Sir, I have no one to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up. And while I am going, another steps down before me." Jesus said to him, "Get up, take your bed, and walk." And at once the man was healed, and he took up his bed, and he walked. Wow, that is such an incredible story in the Bible. And I want us to look at the very first verse where it says, Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now, there were things that happened all the time in Jesus' ministry, and he always had an agenda. He had to get somewhere. He had to do things. People were always trying to pull him one way or the other. But if you read this story or any other story about Jesus in the Bible, he was never too eager to get to the end. Yes, he knew that the end was the most important thing because it's what kind of brought salvation to his people. However, everything in the middle was just as important. And my question for you today is this: are you too eager to get to the end? Are you too worried about getting to the end of another year or something else in life that is probably painful? My hope would be this: that as you go through those times, both good and bad, that you wouldn't forget the journey for the destination. That you would know that there are things that are going to happen to you along the way that are going to be as important or sometimes more important than the destination itself. So just know that we're praying for you and with you. We're praising with you. And don't forget that on the way are a lot of the times where the best things in life happen. We're praying for you, and you can drop a line to us in any number of the social media platforms that we have. But until next time, have a good one. Thanks a lot.